great. Well, we're glad to have you back, and looking forward to...
Yeah, so sitting next to me today is my duck. It's a sad story. So I chose him today. His name is Draco Malfoy, because he's a Drake. 2 days ago, we actually lost him to a bobcat attack. So flying with him today in my cockpit has a little bit of a different feel to it. Bobcat got him. Took him right in front of his girls, but...
F's in the chat for Draco.
Yep, F's for Draco. As you can see, I'm choosing to fly the Carroll livery today, which is more of a cream interior. I know a lot of people probably hasn't really seen that one. Our texture artist 270 did a wonderful job on this one. It's one of my favorite liveries. A little cream inside. Kind of was a aircraft that came to us out of the Aeroprat, believe it or not. So we were working with Heaven Bound Aviation, and we were really inspired by their story as we were making the Aeroprat Vixen. They trained their students before they put them up in the Vixen in an old school Taylorcraft. So we were very impressed by that. We loved the way they were doing that with their students. And sorry, it looked like we did active pause there for a sec. But very inspired. We got in contact with multiple real life pilots. Ended up deciding the BC-12D was for us, and went from there. Now, some of the features that come with this thing are some very first forgot friends. Definitely things we haven't tried to do before, but we mostly did this because we want this new. One of the big highlights I like to point out is the reactive motion is what we're calling it. So not only do things like handles and levers and fuzzy dice and stuff react, they'll hit each other, they'll bounce off each other. It's a 3D space real-time physics generator. We have other things like if I open the engine cowling here, I can't really do that mid-flight. In the 2020 version you can, not in this one, you have to do it in walk-around mode. But here, I'll do this for y'all. This is another thing about our physics here. So if we overspeed the aircraft, we have prop failures. You're going to see here things will start popping open. As you saw that front latch there kind of popped because I went over speed, kind of busted the latch. And if I slow up here, get some airflow underneath it, you can see it's going through the air tank there, and the prop wash and the wind, how you turn, your G-forces, as you can see here. We've made sure that everything on the environment affects the aircraft. So whether that's if your doors pop open as well for back pressures, you can see here, we got airflow coming through the cockpit. If I slow down and stalled the aircraft, you're going to see the doors react differently. And I think I crashed. I did not turn that off.
Well, F's in the chat where you proof we're doing it live here. None of this is pre-recorded on Flying Friday. All right, we'll cut over to SimFlight Pro then while you get reset.
Yeah, please do. Yep.
You know, I'm glad you told me about those, the pair of dice, and I was trying to actually play with them to see how they kind of respond. It's something I would never think of. And that's interesting what you and your team thought.
Weather start conditions, primer, carb heat. We've added some deep realism here for the guys who really like to go flying in this thing and they want to be able to use every lever, every switch, and have that engine feel as realistic as possible. And big shout out to Got Gravel for doing a lot of the back end coding on that. He's a wizard when it comes to it, and he's done an incredible job on this. I would say this is some of our best work when it comes to engine realism. But yeah, we've really tried to add once again a variety of a lot of stuff. Hopefully that answers that question.
Howard in the chat is saying, I mean, you've been demoing a lot of the features of the Taylorcraft. Howard's pointed out while you were doing that, you've flown way off course.
I have across the platforms on the marketplace. So Really excited to get on to y'all.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, and I'm just loving seeing it on the stream today as well, as I hope a lot of the viewers are as well. By the way, I hope everyone's enjoying the scenery on our flight plan today. I'm just looking at it myself. Look at this beautiful lake below me here, mountains and valleys. I'm actually going to start my descent here pretty soon. This is Terrace, British Columbia, up ahead to my 12 o'clock, where we're doing a touch-and-go landing. And I'm at 7,500 feet right now, so I need to descend a little bit. But just look at this beautiful scenery all around. Looks fantastic every which way you look.
And I went against the grain of my typical flying, and I did turn on autopilot, so I don't go off course for y'all. So,
like I said, it's hard to be entertaining and engaging while hand flying the aircraft as well. I'm with you. Like normally, I like hand flying myself, but there's certain sacrifices must be made. Your live
I have too much to focus on today, so guess what? I'm flying the magenta line. I apologize to the rest of the friends out there who are probably shaking their heads at me right now.
By the way, I also saw another question earlier from the chat. Is there a pink livery for the Taylorcraft?
There is no pink livery yet, but I know it's been highly requested. I've seen it a couple times. 270, you're in chat. I know what you're going to do with that information. You can run wild. Don't delay the submission. So we hear you guys. I'm sure there's going to be tons of community content the second this releases, as always, on FlysimDK. If not, from our own official website, we like to release liveries there too. So
look at Stuxit trolling the chat here. Did we discuss Canadian food like chocolatine today? By the way, I had pizza Hawaii in Italy. So first of all, chocolatine is not Canadian food, it's French food from France. And second of all, you're going to start a holy war calling it that. Half of France, not probably more than half of France, will get very
but you know, we really never expected this to happen. We started this, like you said, as a hobby with 4 friends, just having fun. Just trying to do something cool that we know that we loved in the sim, bring our passion so other people could enjoy it. It turned from just doing small modifications to creating entire aircraft. Right time, right place, doing the right things. And I feel a lot of it is because our entire team is very passionate about what we did, and the community really does stand behind what we're making. And because of all of you, we're here. It's not like we did this to ourselves. We definitely were pushed through passion and, you know, our expertise and our talents, but we're here because everyone in the community really likes what we're doing, and they continue to support us. So yeah, big shout out to everyone out there who's been supporting us for 6 years now.
All right, yeah, fantastic story. I know Jorg was really big when he announced FlightSim 2024 and did the deep dive presentation at FS Expo that year. He said they were building it, yeah, fingers for the community, and certainly we love seeing the reaction to all of your add-ons, especially as we see in the stream today, the Man's Best Friend Deluxe getting a lot of positive feedback in the chat.
Yeah, our team, we really facilitate the weird, the unusual, the unique. Yeah. We've kind of loved doing that from the beginning. Man's Best Friend is no exception. I mean, we've done a canoe, we've done Lake Skipper, we brought you Project Cross Cart where you can drive around in the sim. We try to do some fun and unique things, but we also every now and then try to do a flagship. The Wilgo is a flagship, the AS-33 is a flagship, and now this is going to be a flagship for us. So,
when you're on final and you're about to touch down and you're trying to land, and then you find your plane floats for a long time, that's because you're experiencing excess lift from ground effects. And the proper technique for landing, believe it or not, is to deliberately stall the plane. You want to get really close to the ground, like 5 to 10 feet off the ground, and then deliberately put your plane into a stall to eliminate lift, and then the plane will just very gently at low speeds touch down. And that's how you actually properly are trained to land a plane, is by stalling it on purpose. And an ideal landing, we play the Jane Stallhorn effect. That you've heard that all the time on the sim when I'm about to touch down. But we got an engine failure from John.
Oh no, I'm just engine off. I'm enjoying the views. I knew I wasn't catching up with y'all, so I'm just coming down low for a bit.
But yeah, the Stallhorn, if you do a landing perfectly, you will actually hear the stall horn just before you touch down, and that is a properly executed landing. You don't always hear it, but oh, look at this! Hang on, look. Got a hot air balloon floating past me at 102 knots indicated. That's cool. Love it.
Something I can show here. So, I know some people are thinking this is a hand starting aircraft. How do you start it once your engine dies midair, right? So
you stick your hand out the window and hand prop it. I've seen videos of this.
Right, I have seen that. But we can use airflow. So if I go ahead and put magnetos, let's go ahead and give it some airflow. And we'll start her right back up. You crank with the wind. So there you go. You use the wind to your advantage. Down here, check out the scenery. It's so nice down low. Little lake area.
Yeah, Porter with the landing instructions. That's exactly right. So what you do is when you cross the thresholds of the runway, you power to idle. Then when you're, 5 to 10 feet off the deck, you very gently ease back on your sticker yoke, nose up attitude, bleed off airspeed, get into a stall situation where you're no longer flying fast enough to generate sufficient lift to remain in flight. If you hear the stall horn, you've done it properly, and then the plane will touch down on the main wheels for a perfect landing.
The area is so nice today. That's kind of what we wanted this aircraft to be too. It's slow. Flies low. It's meant for you to go kind of really enjoy these little inlets like this.